We are back.
Yes.
Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So much to discuss. I'm your host, Jason Flake. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ.
What up, Joe?
We like to start the show the same every week, man. Thanking all of our Everybody Has One family, man, for tapping in with us this week, man. We got thousands of views on the YouTube channel. All kinds of likes, man, plenty of views, all kinds of shares, man. We appreciate y'all so much for tapping in on all of the social sites, man. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. Everybody Has One sports podcast spelled out everywhere else. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitch, that's TikTok, that's Threads. The audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure y'all tapping in with us in all of those locations, man, so that y'all remain up to date on the podcast, on all of the topics, man. And if there are topics that you would like to hear, make sure that y'all are hitting us in those direct messengers, man, and we'll make sure that we try to get those on for you. But without further ado, man, got a lot to discuss this evening, man. We want to wrap up the Super Bowl. Got a lot of NBA discussion, man. Your favorite All-Star weekend is coming up, man. We got to touch base with the People's Champ on that. But first off, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
They did beat the Patriots in what was a defensive struggle for most of the game, about 2.5 quarters, but they beat them 29-13. Sam Darnold, 19-38, 202 yards, a touchdown, but most importantly, no interceptions, no fumbles lost, no fumbles at all. Drake May was 27-43, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also had a fumble loss that turned into a touchdown, recovery and a touchdown for Nwosu. And obviously the story of the game was K9, Kenneth Walker III. He had a great game. Let me double check on his stats. Since I did mention him, he was 27 carries, 136 yards, about 5 yards a carry. Also had a couple of catches for 26 yards, had a great all-around game, and obviously was ultimately crowned the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I thought it was a neck and neck between him and the kicker.
Right. I mean, at a certain point.
I said, man, Meyer is the MVP. But no, man, shout out to K9, man. Michigan State alum, man. Shout out to you, my brother, man.
Michigan and Michigan State won this weekend.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Yeah, like the you know
I'm talking
they
about with Mike McDonald.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That is true.
Drake May did continue to show that inexperience with the turnovers, man. So a couple of questions for the People's Champ.
All right.
First of all, the Super Bowl odds for next year, they already out. And this is via DraftKings Sportsbook. Seattle is favored to win. Do you expect them to repeat? That's the first question. And then with respect to Drake May, I'm going to just make it cut and dry, man. Does he make it back to a Super Bowl, and does he win one before his career is over, man? What say the People's Champ?
Man.
I know those are loaded.
I mean, good Lord. Just about to just dance in hyperbole tonight. All right, well. As for favorites to repeat, man, repeating is tough.
It is. It is very difficult.
I mean, out of all the sports, I would say football is like,
yeah, it's up there. Nobody's ever three-peated. There's never been a three-peat. Yeah, repeating is exceedingly hard.
I remember, I think like, what was it? I think the first team that I saw like get close was the 49ers, and then the Giants. Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall got a hold of Joe Montana, and he wasn't the same after that.
Yep.
And then the Roger Craig fumble. I remember that game vividly.
And then Jerry Jones couldn't get out his own way with Jimmy Johnson. They should have three-peated, but he got in the way.
They probably should have got 4 in a row.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but Jerry Jones couldn't get out his own way. Yeah, no, there's been some, and then
But,
the Broncos,
yeah.
they were close in the late '90s, but yeah, it's hard. And then-
Dallas and the Patriots, I think, are the last two teams since I've been pouring that won 3 out of 4.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Yes. No, I didn't. Did Kansas City win 3 out of 4?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
Kansas
Kansas
City
City won
and
3 out of
Kansas
4.
City.
Yeah, they
Well,
won
3 out of 5.
3 out of
Was it 3 out of
okay.
5?
Yep. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what was it 21? Yeah, no, it was 3 out of 4 because it was 21.
2019, 2022, 2023. They lost in 2020.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. Yep. Yep. There you go. Yeah, 2020 and 2021. Yeah, they didn't win either one of those. Okay. Yep, I got you.
Yeah, yeah, but to the point.
Yep.
It's hard.
It is.
And then I'm trying to think. NFC
is loaded. Always. And then that division. Yeah. I mean,
and I mean, and again, the turnover with the NFL, like just as you look at what Seattle's done in 2 years.
and what the Patriots did
And
in
what
1
the
year.
Patriots
Yeah,
done in
like
1
dog,
year.
no, you're right. It's the best.
And I look at oh God. I look at John Harbaugh and like the Giants, and not to jump on a ledge and say, but the talent's there.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's hiring the in terms of the staff, the right guys to push the right button.
There's going to be a surprise team, to your point.
So
somebody's going to jump up and be a surprise team.
So I would say, I would put my money on them not repeating.
Right. You take the field as opposed to Seattle.
Yeah. And then Drake May. Can't play much worse than that.
Yeah. That was tough.
But
he showed glimpses. Yeah.
But again, to the conversation, Vrabel's first year there.
Yep.
May's second year there. They clearly have a guy and a path, and I think however wide their window is will depend on what Drake May takes from this game.
Yep.
And how he bounces back.
Yeah, I like that.
That's so will he win one? Man, that's tough. Damn, man. I gotta
what say the people, man? People want to know what the people's champ is saying.
I don't want to damn a man in the second year that he'll never win one.
It's just a prediction. It's just a prediction, man.
But here's what I'll say.
What's your best guess?
But here's what I'll say. My best guess, just off the hip, I would say yes, just because he has the right structure around him.
Yeah.
He have we talk about it. We have the owner.
Yep.
Who spins and makes the necessary personnel decisions, the hard ones, the necessary ones, the championship ones.
Yep.
When they need to be made. Mike Vrabel, is a proven coach.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May has proven he can play at a high level.
Yes.
And he can play. He had a rough playoff run,
yes,
but in spite of that, he still made some huge plays offensively when it mattered.
Absolutely.
So again, he can only grow from that. And then you start to think Henderson gets better, Stevenson gets better. You start to maybe add some weapons.
Absolutely.
Around them. You go back to the real for real Patriots way, your two tight ends, you get back to it. So yeah, if I have to shoot off the hip, I would say a 23-year-old kid, if he can, avoid all of the, the things that would impede him, outside of on the field.
Right.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, no, I would have to essentially agree with what you said. I'm gonna mimic a lot of those points. I agree. I don't expect Seattle to repeat. I agree with that. First off, not to rain on the Sam Darnold redemption parade, right? But great defenses don't repeat. Great quarterbacks do.
Oh.
So the great defenses in our lifetime, 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 2002 Buccaneers, none of them repeated.
Well,
the quarterbacks that have repeated in our lifetime: Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, John Elway, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. And again, not to rain on the Sam Darnold redemption tour, I don't think he is necessarily in that ilk.
mhm.
Again, now if he does it, then we revisit this conversation. Obviously, we'll have another conversation. The NFC West is a monstrous division.
Yeah,
You
dude.
touched on that. We talked about the circumstances kind of breaking perfectly for the Patriots, but they were advantageous for Seattle. Let's be real. Next year, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, George Kittle, and Trent Williams are not going to be injured when you play them in the playoffs. You know, let's be real.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is not going to have another game, maybe in his career, where he doesn't convert a third or fourth down. He doesn't complete a pass on third or fourth down. Excuse me. That is an anomaly. That's a statistical anomaly, and I don't want to, poo-poo Seattle's defense
right.
because they played great defense.
Right.
They
had
prevented
a lot to
him
do about that, right?
They prevented him from doing.
But to your point, I mean that is
that's
for Matthew
that's
Stafford,
a statistical
that's
anomaly for the MVP of the league. Like
right.
that was an anomaly. Like you see, that there's an element of luck there. If I had to guess, but and then they're losing Clint Kubiak. Now, Kenneth Walker is a free agent, though I expect him to be re-signed immediately at the start of the new league year. I do find it curious that he didn't get a contract extension. Like, I don't understand why he wasn't extended, why he would even be allowed to become a free agent when he's as good as he is. And I understand the whole running back shelf life and all of that, but he
know
got
what you got. Know your personnel.
Man, listen.
Last season he played 11 games, so I think that played a part into it.
Listen.
And I think that, like you said, I think it's more so he's going to probably get signed early because of the Charbonnet injury.
Right. Yeah. I would be shocked if he actually, touched free agency for a day. But I expect him to be re-signed immediately. But it is noteworthy that he is a free agent. I mean, and yeah, I mean, if you just add to that it's just historically hard to repeat. And it's hard to win one. Just the odds are just against it, in my opinion. But I don't think they're a flash in the pan. I do think they're going to be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
It would not it wouldn't shock me if they did.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that division is tough. The Rams are going to get better. And historically, when you have a team like that and you got to start paying guys, historically, it just, history tells us that you're going to have to make decisions, right? You're going to have to let some people go. It's not going to be Kenneth Walker. They're going to pay him,
right?
But somebody's going to have to be sacrificed. So, they'll probably, it won't be next year. The defense will still be great next year. They'll still be really good and in the mix. But yeah, so I'll be interested to see how that plays out. And with respect to Drake May, getting back to the Super Bowl. So guys in recent memory that have made it ahead of schedule. Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Dan Marino. They've all made it ahead of schedule. Now, again, presumably Goff, Burrow, and Purdy still have a little bit of a runway.
Mm-hmm.
They could all get back. It is hard to get back.
Yeah.
But with respect to Drake May, and also he's in the same conference with the aforementioned Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, all in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
What he has in his favor, though, is he's much younger than them.
That's what I think. The only thing he has.
They'll age out. Now, assuming that there's no Tom Brady in that bunch who's going to play until he's 45, which I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Because their style is so much different. Than none of them is really a true pocket passer other than Mahomes, and he was running around a lot this year. But that might be over after this injury.
And Burrow drops back and takes a beating.
That part, like he's been injury prone even, you
In
know,
college.
even in college. Yeah. So, you know, I don't expect any of them to play that deep. So I think that that's working in his favor. And then, of course, man, you highlighted, you know, Bob Kraft, you know, arguably the best owner in sports, right? And I think because of his age, the amount of money that he has, he like, look, I want to win, and let's spend this thing. I can't, you know,
Can't
what he
take it with me.
$8 billion. I mean, like he like, man, my kids, I don't even know are taken care of with the money that I have. I can't burn this money, so let's go ahead and try and win. Yeah, like right. I know that.
You know, when you
gotta
think
be
about,
nice, yeah, right.
Like, when you think about
Yeah.
$8 billion,
That's what I'm saying. Like he like, I can't
dog.
burn this money, or it's 6 billion. Or last time I
He
looked, it was
burn $1
like,
billion, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
it
like,
would be nothing.
yeah, that's he like, man. So let's spend the money. Let's try to win.
Yeah.
And like you I mean, you mentioned he's decisive. You know, like the Gerard Mayo hire was not a good one, but he didn't stay on it.
Right.
Like, you know, like some guys would stay, well, we gonna stick with it, and then, you know, no, he just like, all right, that we messed up. Let's go get the right guy.
But and that was like what you call the definition of a business and personal decision, because you know he has love for Gerard
sure.
Mayo, but
Yeah,
he
it
was
wasn't
like,
personal.
hey, man,
We're not doing a good
we'll
job.
find some other work for you.
Yeah,
but it will not be head coaching this football.
Nah, right.
We tried it, didn't work.
It didn't work.
You're not less of a man because of it.
Nah, but I respect that. I'm like that.
Yeah,
that's
how
what
winning's done.
That's what successful people do. Successful people don't say, like, yeah, let's give it another year when it's clearly a disaster.
They burn the boats.
Yep. But and then the rule of fives, man. I think it's noteworthy that both Lamar and Josh Allen got a fresh clock with the rule of fives. They both have a fresh clock now. And Burrow and Zach Taylor going into year 7, so they no threat. This year.
All around the world.
Yep.
Same song.
And one last thing, man, before we transition to some NBA discussion, man, because we mentioned the Kenneth Walker situation again, we expect him to be re-signed. What would you like to see New England address through this draft and free agency, man? What are some of the deficiencies that you would like to, because you know they're gonna do what they got to do, and I like, you know, and some people were, you know, I guess I've heard mixed reviews on Elliott Wolf. I think he's done a good job thus far, because this was the first draft that he was really in charge of. I thought they got really good assets out of it, but what would you like to see them address if you had your druthers?
Well, based from the Super Bowl, some depth at the offensive line spot,
My man.
I would definitely address that.
Yeah, I have that as well.
New England traditionally has always had top tier secondary play. I mean, you go back to Tyler, you know, Malloy.
Yeah, I mean, but Christian Gonzalez is a beat. He didn't give
but
up
I'm saying, like, depth there, I think they've always had that.
And Craig Woodson is good too. He's a rookie. He's a monster.
So depth there. And then, you know, what we talked about earlier, not necessarily you don't have to get, you know, the super elite toys per se, but, you know, just some weaponry for Drake May to have some outlets. You know, because I think with his skill set, you can do a lot with guys that are good with the ball in space.
Yep.
So, you know, I think like some athletic skill position guy that on the outside would help him out.
Yeah, no, you know what, we very, very close to exactly what I was thinking. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say something. And I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. Will Campbell is not a left tackle.
Will had a rough night, didn't he?
He's not. His arms are too short. You know, the reason why left tackles are usually 6'6" and above, and most importantly, they have long arms, is because you cannot let edge defenders in the NFL get into your torso or into your because they're too strong.
Yeah.
They'll just bowl
They'll
you over,
ragdoll
man.
you.
Yeah, like it's just you cannot allow them to get their hands into your torso. If they get their hands
Get
inside,
up in there, they can shift you.
it's just it's over, man. Like you have to be able to keep their hands off of you. And his arms are just too short. I think that he would be better suited uh to move inside and be a guard. Once that happens, man, once you lose leverage on these guys, man, these guys are just too doggone good in the NFL. They just are. And yeah, that's why he spends a ton of time on the ground. If you don't get him out of there at the left tackle spot, not only is he gonna give up a ton of pressure always, but he gonna get hurt. He's gonna end up injured.
And so is your quarterback.
Yes, that part.
But at that same token, do you really think guard will help be helpful to him because he is 6'6" at the same time? I know you say he has short arms, but that big of a frame on the inside, I don't know, will be beneficial to him.
Well, but he is powerful though. He is strong, so I think that he could probably be a good guard. Because he's got good feet, he is strong, he is powerful, he's got a strong frame. But if he can't, and you don't need those long arms on the inside like you need them on the outside, because you're not trying to catch edge rushers.
Pad level.
Yeah, right. I mean, you making a joke, but pad level, is more important. Like if he can get down and have his pad level and a good base on the inside, that's more important than having long arms, on the interior.
Rob was a football guy.
Your mic ain't on there.
Oh, I was saying, aren't you exaggerating that? Because now you asking him to get lower on the inside?
If he's got a good base, on the inside, he can do it. But his arms are they too short to be on the outside. He can't do it. I mean, he struggled. I mean, he really struggled all year. He struggled all year with these edge rushers. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm going to defend the entire New England offensive line and Drake May a little bit for the turnovers. This was statistically the hardest defensive run ever. This was a nasty defensive run.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, like I read this scathing, article about Drake May. And listen, don't get me wrong. Once you start getting paid millions of dollars, you have to be responsible with the football. Can't turn the ball over. At the same time, I'm not sure that if Sam Darnold had to play these same three defenses, that he would have played as clean. He wasn't going up against these monstrous defenses that Drake May was. And I'm not saying that Seattle wouldn't have beat those teams.
Right.
I'm saying I don't know that Sam Darnold plays as clean as he did. I mean, the defenses that he played were not nearly as rough as the defenses that Drake May played. And Will Campbell was playing against some outstanding edge rushers. I mean, Benito is a great edge rusher. Khalil Mack. I mean, there's some names in there. You talking about Will Anderson and Daniil Hunt. I mean, he playing against some of the best edge players in football. And then,
handicapped.
And then he got DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, he didn't get any break in the when he got to the Super Bowl. So, but when you watch him in there, you just see that he can't catch these guys with his hands. They into his chest so fast. And unless he improves markedly, it's not going to work with him at the tackle spot, because, I mean, even if you put him on the other side, they're just going to move the edge defenders to the other side, and then he's going to have the same issue. So with short arms, I'm just not sure that he can hold up in that position. But I didn't want to make this a referendum on poor Will Campbell. I mean, he struggled in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm hoping that he can bounce back, but I just think sticking him out there on the island with these edge defenders and short arms, his arms don't look any longer than mine, and that just doesn't jive at the left tackle spot in the NFL. Like, it's going to be a lot of long Sundays for him. But I also would like to see New England get a real number one receiver. And there is some whispering that AJ Brown might be available. And he's got a history with Mike Vrabel that it seems to be positive. They didn't depart on bad terms.
Okay.
I don't know about the chemistry and the locker room chemistry and how that would all work. Though that's above my head, but he seems like a schematic fit for what they do. And Mike Vrabel does know him well. So I think that would serve them extremely well. And I agree. I mean, yeah, like some defensive back depth, like that would be good. Christian Gonzalez seems to be able to, field his side of the field extremely well and get a lot of knockaways. He's long and
He's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, he is. He's really outstanding. But and Carlton Davis, I thought, played extremely well.
Yeah, he did.
And I think he's on a 3.
He had a hell of a playoff run.
He did.
Actually.
And so he'll be back, and maybe another athletic linebacker. But
Brad Holmes.
Yeah, I know he left us with DJ Reed. But so that's that, and shout out to again Seattle, man, and Sam Darnold, man, the Sam Darnold redemption tour. Go ahead.
What do you say to the narrative that the Super Bowl was not entertaining?
I mean, listen, there's something to it. It's not the most entertaining Super Bowl that I've seen, but I mean, that it's football. It's going to be like that sometimes. It was two teams that were a little more defensive than offensive, I thought. So, you didn't have Mahomes versus Josh Allen or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, like this is I think that
it was funny. Ty sent me the meme with the it was like the whole Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah,
where they had the mask with the
Thursday
Super
night
Bowl
football. Yeah, I saw
they pulled it off.
it was Thursday night football. Yeah,
ouch.
I saw that.
I mean, I thought it was. I mean, of course, you want all of the drama,
sure,
and the marquee names and the explosive plays. But I mean, if you're a fan of defense,
yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of leather.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm a fan of football, man. I like all kinds of football, man. Like when it was no longer in the balance, I'm not gonna say I stayed for the entire thing.
I got you.
I came back for the award ceremonies and all of that. I was glad to see K9 get the Super Bowl MVP, but I mean, listen, it is what it is. It's football. Sometimes it's like that. Every game's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Every game is not going to be the Patriots and the Eagles when they had 1,000 yards of offense.
Oh man,
like that was a really a good game.
Yeah,
but some of them are going to be duds, though. I think the last year's was a dud. I mean, if Philly just trounced Kansas City, so
none will be ever. I think the worst one I could remember ever watching that just burns in the back of my mind will always be the Giants-Ravens.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think we watched that at your dad.
Yeah, we did. Yep, that was a drubbing. I mean, there have been
That
a
wasn't
lot
worse than Philly. That wasn't worse than New England versus LA.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of bad.
I mean, that
Super
one
Bowls.
was bad, but dude, the Giants, Ravens, man, that
Was that the 49ers that trampled the San Diego Chargers at the time?
Oh,
was
yeah.
that 94?
Oh, yeah.
The Bills got
the Bobby Ross, Stan Humphries.
And then I remember the Bills got throttled by the Redskins one year. Like that Redskins team.
49ers, Bengals was bad.
Yeah. It's been a lot of listen, it's been some bad Super Bowls. I can't lie. There's been some good ones too, though. We've been treated to some great ones, but it's one game, that there's a possibility that, it could go either way. So
on top of Lance's question, and
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too long on this. Before I ask my question, did y'all see the clip of Jeff Teague and Zaire Franklin going back and forth?
I did.
So it was one thing that was said during that made me kind of think, and it was the star power in the NFL.
Okay. Yes.
Am I crazy to think that the NFL is on the opposite trajectory as of the NBA, where the NBA has stars,
Yes.
but ratings and whatnot are going down.
Correct.
While the opposite is, if to me, it feels like the opposite is happening in the NFL, where the ratings and the brand
Yes.
couldn't have been is at an all-time high, but it feels like outside of the quarterback position, it don't feel like we have the level of star power, I should say, the level that a superstar reaches in the NFL. It doesn't feel the same as it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, I think that's actually that's a solid take. I have a hard time finding an argument with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like other than like the quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, I think they have very high profiles. But even like a Jalen Hurts, who is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Super Bowl MVP, his profile is not very high. Like I feel like Jalen Hurts can, put on like some regular clothes and go around Philly and pretty much be unbothered.
Yeah, what up, dog?
Yeah, like I kind of feel like he can kind of go around unbothered. So yes, you are, and then yes, NBA guys, because they don't have on a helmet, and there's fewer of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they're more visible.
And I think as well, over the last, I would probably say maybe generation, probably they were able to focus more so on the shield, because prior to, you had a lot of brands trying to establish themselves, whereas now those brands are pretty much settled in.
Yeah, I agree.
When we were coming up, it was always trying to find the next guy to sell. Now pretty much all the shoes that sell are still those shoes.
Yeah.
And they're like 30 years old.
Then I think also the shelf life of NBA players now. I mean, Kevin Durant, what is year 18, 17, 18?
17, 18?
Yeah, he been around for so long. He's been so visible. Steph, LeBron. I mean, even Anthony Edwards has a high profile. James Harden been around forever. So yeah, and
the
he's got
helmet matters.
Yeah. Like these guys are visible and so no, I buy into that, nephew. I think that's a solid position. And speaking of basketball in the NBA, man, let's transition to this Pistons situation. Because of course on Monday there was a brawl. And of course I got my Pistons shirt on, man. I stand in solidarity.
Yeah.
Oh,
love that shit.
Just to give a recap, man. Monday night against the Hornets, Jalen Duren caught the ball in a post up in the third quarter, about 7 minutes left to go. He was fouled hard by Moussa Diabate. Subsequently, the players came face to face. Diabate did appear to somewhat headbutt Jalen Duren. Duren responded by pushing Diabate's face. A melee ensued. Diabate pursued Duren as he was pulled toward the locker room. Then Miles Bridges inserted himself by going after Jalen Duren. He threw a punch at him from about 7 feet away that had no chance of connecting. Duren threw a punch back, neither connected. Isaiah Stewart then left the bench area, presumably feeling that it was no longer one-on-one between Diabate and Duren. Stewart went after Bridges. They got locked up. Punches were thrown. Apparently some hair was pulled. Everything was broken up. All 4 players were ejected. Suspensions were handed down earlier today. Stewart received 7 games for leaving the bench area. Bridges and Diabate will receive 4 games for escalating the situation, and Duren received 2 games for his role in the altercation. I asked the people's champ, man, what's your take on the situation, man? Who was right? Who was wrong? Are these suspensions appropriate? Were they too harsh? Were they just right? Go ahead, man, and tell the people what they want to hear, man.
First off, I'm here for it. Listen, man. I'm gonna be a little silly. I'm gonna be a little for real, my usual self.
Yeah.
But listen, man. None of that happens in any basketball court And, people are not glad that the referees and the security was there to get in between them.
Yeah.
So, the fact that it kind of ended the way that it did, and I was really anticipating more than the games that were handed out. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah.
Like losing Jalen Duren for only 2 games is a win. And I mean, the way the way JB was kind of playing Stu lately anyway, 7 games is kind of like, we must have been spurts, but I mean, the way Paul Reed's been balling, we might just be fine.
Yeah.
So that kind of worked out. But again, man, so look, dude, you can't rub your nose up against my nose and not expect bare minimum to get mushed the hell out my face. Like what was Jalen Duren supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like
that's what I said.
Kiss him?
Bro, you in
the hell out my face, man.
You in my personal space.
Yeah, like what are we talking about? Come on, man. And Miles Bridges, I mean, I'm just glad he's like swinging on the correct gender this time. I'm proud of him for that. It's a step up. And I mean, as for Stu, Stu said it when he was walking out the tunnel. What you bring me here for?
Right.
So, hey, man, you got to protect your all-star. If it was Cade, he would have did it for Cade.
Yep.
Hey, but here's what I was thinking, though, honestly. Where was Ron at, man? Oh, man, if Ron was there, it would have went all the way down now. Ron drive me crazy, but when it's time for it to hit the fan, Ron about that action.
He here for all of it.
Oh, man, now that would have been spicy for real. That's what I was thinking. Because I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, Ron ain't playing. And then I think he was there on like personal.
He was out tonight again for personal reasons.
Oh, man, well, I hope whatever it is,
I hope everything is good.
But I was thinking that. I was like, oh man, some little Ron with this. It would have been all the way live. And my man, was it Musa Diabate? Therapy.
Right. Yeah, he was bugging.
Therapy. Cause like I'm kind of old enough now where I've seen enough and observed enough behaviors to be like, if he gets that angry in public, and with restraint, it's just certain things he can't do or be around or possess, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah. Real talk.
Because, that's the dude on the playground that's going to go to the car.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he zoned out, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I'm sitting up here like, his NBA fight, it was quelched. And I get it, you want to go after him, but he had like that. Like, he started slobbing. You see, he was slobbing. Then he started crying.
Yeah, like, bro, calm down.
I said, oh, man, he need a shot or something.
Him and Duren been going back and forth since high school.
Yeah, I peeped that. Yeah, I peeped that. But, I mean, ain't no need to be crying and slobbing about it. I mean, if that's the case, then y'all should have been fought.
Right.
I mean, wow. But at the end of the day, I'm glad it was just 7 games for Stu and 2 for Duren. Now, does Duren get to play in the All-Star game?
Yeah. It won't interrupt the All-Star activity.
Oh, well, cool. Yeah, we straight. We gonna keep winning.
Yeah.
We all right. Don't stay out of people's face.
So to note, including tonight's game against the Raptors, where they are up at the half right now, 67-52.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of Stewart's suspension will be the games against the Knicks, the Bulls, the Spurs, the Thunder, the Cavs, and the Magic. When he comes back, it will be in 22 days since he last played.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, yeah, because of the All-Star break.
Yep, because of the All-Star break. Yep. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. The suspensions or whatever, I got the impression even before everything popped off, man, that the Hornets were playing like they had that game circled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you remember the last game when they was up here, it wasn't the most pleasant of times between the teams.
Yep, and
what happened? What
it was chippy in that game.
It
didn't
was
get
it? Okay. It didn't get like this, but they were on a 9-game winning streak,
right?
Starting to believe that they could possibly be the best team in the Eastern Conference. They were racking up some wins against, the Spurs, and they even have a win at OKC this year.
Oh, the gold's gravity.
And then they started to learn what we already know about small teams. that shoot a lot of threes against the Pistons. We feast on them. And the Pistons are not only the number 1 team in steals and blocks, we also the number 2 team in defensive rating, but most importantly, we the number 1 team in paint scoring. And in the third quarter, we started to force our way inside, much like the rest of the year. And most of the teams in the NBA, because there's no rim protection, they helpless to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Once the Hornets started to feel the avalanche of inside scoring and the smothering defense, the frustration came to a fever pitch. They decided they wanted to play physical, which was fine because we decided that in training camp. So we brought the physicality. And if you somewhere, man, and you and another man are having words and y'all decide to engage in some, let's just call it a hand-to-hand combat one-on-one. That's old school, man-to-man situation. I'm not in that. But if somebody else get in it, then I'm in it too. Because y'all ain't about to jump on my people.
Like, that's just, what are we doing?
And Stu got a code.
And he stayed on it.
And he stood on it. Before Bridges got in it, Stu was chilling. But I think that he felt like when Bridges got in it, it was a second person involved now. And we not about to do no 2-on-1. I mean, now whether or not you think that's right or not, I'm not even going, that's irrespective of whether or not you think that's the right decision.
But to your point, there are times where staying on code has its cost.
Yeah, listen, that's exactly what I said, man. I'm like, there's a lot of times, and it's a lot of conversations about that, but sometimes what's right and what's within the rules are not the same thing. And sometimes when you stand on principle, you have negative consequences. He chose to do what he did, and he accepts the negative consequences. And from my perspective, Charlotte entered that game with something to prove. And when it became clear that they were losing the physicality battle, they decided to escalate their level of physicality. And that's not their game, it's ours. And even their coach later on got all out of his body and got ejected.
Yeah, what was that about?
They entered that game with something to prove.
I'm talking about they almost had to carry him out on somebody's shoulder.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like, he got all out of his body. I'm like, bro, what is your problem, sir? But unfortunately,
they couldn't stop Paul Reed.
Yeah, dust-ups, they're inevitable. They are part of the game. These are young men playing a contact sport and or approaching their physical prime. Competition and deferential behavior don't go together. The sport in many ways is a fight. Men can't afford to give ground. Hopefully in the future, cooler heads can prevail. But with this group, I can say for the most part, we don't start anything, but we always finish it, and we ain't letting nothing slide. Don't start none, and it won't be none.
Static.
Shout out to Chill Thompson in the IG chat. He said, 2 fools jumping on y'all. I'm jumping in 100 times out of 100 times.
My man.
And same, bro. Same.
But I do want to mention one
Go
thing about the Brawl is overshadowing, I think, what should have been the biggest story of the game, and that was the Cade masterclass that he put on in that game.
Yeah. Well, before that, Duren was putting on the master class. That was the problem. That's why Diabate was getting all in his feelings.
Specifically in that third quarter.
Yes,
because
he was starting to work out.
He was sleeping.
He was sleeping the first half.
They started chirping, and he was like, hey, give me the ball.
Working
dog.
out, yeah.
Like,
and that's why Diabate started getting in his feelings, and
it was the whole bag.
Yeah, he was giving it to him. Yeah, he had to fall away from the mid post. Man, he was working him out, and that's why Diabate started getting all in his field. Yeah, no, we were starting to pull away. And I think that, they thought that we was gonna be their 10th in a row. And once it became clear, like, no, bro, daddy's home.
Hey,
we bought the men's big and tall braided dress belt, and we taking it across that ass.
I got a quick question for both of y'all. Cade Cunningham the best point guard in basketball
right now? Without a doubt. Who else would it be? I mean,
I'm not ready to take him over Shea yet, but it's close.
I mean, yeah, like right today.
Now, see, okay, so we are considering Shea the point, even though really like J-Dub, he does a lot of their set calling.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I consider it safe, but I'm telling you right right here, right now, I'm taking Cade, but it's a fluid situation. To nephew's point,
I'm not saying I wouldn't take Cade. But as far as saying who's the best,
SGA is the MVP.
Who's the best point guard in the league?
Not
I
right
can't.
this moment.
I can't take out.
I think it's Cade right at this second. If
Okay,
I had an MVP vote,
now I have another.
That's why I said if it's a fluid situation.
Okay, now I have another follow for that. So yeah, my answer to you, I think he is the best point guard in basketball.
That's what. Yeah, right this moment. Yeah,
I think he's a top 3 player in the NBA right now.
I agree. I listen,
and I was talking about this with the homie Al Mace the other day. Shout out Al. Why aren't we hearing more discussions about like Cade Cunningham for like MVP? Not MVP candidate.
Yeah.
MVP of the NBA.
Listen, if I don't have a vote. If I did, he'd get it.
Because I mean, like the candidate stuff, that was cool in November.
Because I was going into that.
Hey man, that's why we work.
Yeah, the Pistons are #1 in the power rankings according to NBA.com. This is now the second straight week. We 1 game behind OKC for the best record in basketball. We got the #1. Yeah, I mean we have the same win percentage as Oklahoma City, 750. Again,
now I liken this to the first MVP Steph got in 2015, where like, Harden had like the runaway better numbers.
Yeah.
But they rewarded Steph for establishing what we would know to be as the Warriors dynasty kind of from that point on.
Yeah.
If that same mentality is still,
And how many games has Shea played? Because is he even going to be in the running?
49.
Yeah. So I'm like, is he going to get to 65? Because he's been out for a while. So I'm like, it might be a moot point. Because to me, Cade is the MVP, irrespective of whether or not SGA is playing. But again, it's a fluid situation. So, I mean, SGA may come back and finish real strong. And then, like he may overtake Cade. I think it's Cade by a hair today. But because
for best player or for MVP?
For both. I'm saying that Cade is to me, best point guard.
Okay.
And MVP. I think it's Cade by a hair right now because I like Cade defensively a little bit more than SGA. Offensively, I think SGA by a hair. Defensively, I think it's Cade by a hair, but I think Cade is a little bit better defensively than SGA. Then SGA is better offensively than Cade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just Cade is a little bit better defensively.
I think what separates them to me right now is that in totality, when we're talking offense, you have to take into consideration Shea's just a gifted scorer. Where Cade is, I think, a really gifted playmaker, but the turnovers that come with it sometimes are just too glaring to ignore.
Yes, but I think Cade is just
versus where I don't think with SGA with his scoring, he doesn't have those Allen Iverson scoring nights where it's like 14 for 31.
Right. He's efficient. No, he's
like Cade can still give you
50.
numbers, but in the midst of him giving your numbers, he may keep a team in the game that may not be in the game some nights with the turnover.
But Cade is, I mean, he's a much better playmaker than SGA.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that's night and day.
But what I'm saying is, offensively as a player, I just think Cade does that better than SGA. But I think with SGA, when you take what he does in total as an offensive player, just as a scorer.
No, I said
his ability just kind of
he a little bit. That's why I said I think he's a little bit better than he a little bit better than Cade on the offense. I think Cade is a little bit better than because Cade is so underrated that I think Cade has the second best field goal percentage against in the NBA.
I mean, he's like number 3 behind Wemby.
Yeah, or third. Yeah,
behind Wemby and Chet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's behind Wemby and Chet.
He's the third best.
So he's number 1 amongst guards. No, I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he's elite defensively.
I was about to say, I was just going to say, I think Cade is approaching elite status defensively.
Yeah, he's elite defensively. That's why I said I'm like
defensive team prediction may.
That's what I said.
Come to light.
He is elite defense. Yeah, no, you called that too.
It may come to light.
So for comparison's sake, going into tonight, Shea had played 3 more games more than Cade. Shea's averaging 31, 6, and 4, while Cade is averaging 25, 9, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Shea field goal percentage is 55, 39, 89, while Cade's is 45, 32, and 81.
Yeah.
PER, Shea has a 31 PER, Cade has a 21 PER.
Player efficiency rating is nasty.
Win shares, Shea is at 11.4, Cade is at 6. Defensive win share, Shea is at 2.9, Cade is at 2.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think that still that opponent field goal percentage against being third in the NBA, that's something.
Yeah, well, you're third behind two of the tallest, literal
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The best rim protectors in basketball. So, yeah, no, I mean.
K gets after it. And I think he's just now kind of tapping into what he can be defensive, because I think you can kind of see physically he's starting to impose himself on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he'll only get better defensively.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I just was wondering how you guys felt about that particular situation. I think
it's him by a hair right now, and I do think he's the MVP. Pistons are number 1 in the power rankings according to NBA.com. Second week in a row. Notes from NBA.com. Last week's win over Denver and New York. We now 7-1 against the top 6 teams in the league. Important to note, we have not played the Spurs and OKC yet. Both of our wins over the Knicks, who are the second best team in the conference, were by more than 30 points. And in both of the games, we were at a rest disadvantage. We are now 7-0 in such game. I think we 8-0 because I think we were at a rest disadvantage against Charlotte too. We were playing on a back-to-back. The Spurs, Thunder, Knicks, Nuggets round out the top 5. We officially are 1 game behind OKC in the standings. I just brought that up. Best record for the best record in the league with an identical win percentage of 750. So for the People's Champ, man, what does it mean this deep into the season? Real title contenders, or are you still cautiously optimistic?
No, I think at this point I've seen enough. They're for real.
Yep, I agree.
They're for real. Like it was, what are they? What, 13 losses?
Yep. 39-13.
39-13.
About to go into 40-13 if they hold on, which if they do that, then officially the Phil Jackson, their title contenders.
40-20. Yeah. They're for real. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen enough.
Yeah.
They do what they do best consistently.
Yep.
It is sustainable. And, I mean, it's cliche, but defense is a mentality that you have to buy into. And the entire team has bought in defensively, even old Dunk.
Yeah.
He tried.
He's game. Yeah, he's game. You see him out there.
It was one play I saw him sit down on a chair and made somebody give up a dribble. I couldn't believe it.
Did he wall up?
Listen,
not Dunk walling up.
I'm talking about cut off the baseline. He didn't lead him to the help.
Right.
He cut the baseline off.
Walled
like,
up on
you're going to need an extra dribble move, dog. I'm in the seat.
All right, Dunk walling up.
I mean, but that's the fact that he's willing to try, as opposed to, fouling is the last option.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mentality that the team has seemed to adopt, and I'm here for it because you're definitely going to need it in the playoffs. I love the fact that they want the Knicks. That like me, that kind of speaks to me.
They put the Knicks on notice every time, man. They got fire in their eyes every time they see the Knicks are going to. If we play the Knicks in the playoffs, the Knicks gonna have to be a different level already because we got fire in our belly every time we see them.
But now that we're in that atmosphere, that's where the concerns about Monday night come about.
Oh yeah,
because as the stakes are higher, who's gonna learn the lesson,
right?
Because that's when we'll find out,
right?
We're not gonna find out in post-game interviews and in the locker room. What did you learn from that? When the stakes are the highest again, and
high leverage situations,
and the situation comes about, and so that's the test, you know. And of course, you know, you want your bodies available.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I just think that we sustain what we do consistently. I mean, it's solid bench production. You know, it's okay that it's not the same guy every night because the effort's there every night.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like it's not where, you know, other teams have the ebbs and flows where, you know, they have guys that it's maybe not going on the offensive end. They're not giving you the effort on the defensive end. We play hard, you know, whistle to whistle.
Yep.
You know, they kind of woke up late the other game, you know, but
yeah, I know, right? They had that dud against the Wizards.
Yeah, you know,
Carlton, Bove, Carrington, and the crew.
Where they just sleptwalked
they
in that
did.
first half, you know,
the whole game for real, but they never led against that group. But
I think that we're there, man.
Yeah. So the Pistons definitely have a championship look. They defend, they generate easy baskets, they're physical, they harass the ball handlers, and they close games, most importantly. The one thing that they don't do great is shoot the three, but historically, 3-point percentages go down in the playoffs, and our ability to get easy baskets will actually generate better looks from the three in the playoffs. I think we're about 27th in 3-point shooting right now. I believe Denver was 27th in 2023 when they won the championship. So historically, if you can score in the paint, the three ball, even in the modern era, is less important. But one more question for the People's Champ, man. What's your biggest concern about the Pistons moving forward? I think you touched on it, you know, about Monday, you know, keeping the emotions in check.
Yeah, just just having the awareness of the moment. You know, just that part of it. You know, how they handle that, the mental aspect of it. I think, you know, physically, you know, schematically, they'll be there. They are the best team in the Eastern Conference. I don't think it's really close.
I agree.
So, you know, it's, you know, believing it, executing it, but, you know, still keeping the hungry mentality. So that's how they handle it, you know, and that comes down to their leader.
Yeah, most definitely.
Cade, and then, you know, your veterans, your Tobiases, your Duncans. He's been to 2 finals, I think, with Miami.
Yes, I think he was. He at least one. But yeah,
was he there in the bubble?
He was there for both.
Yes, he was there for both.
You know,
okay.
So you know, Dunk's been to, you know, a couple of finals. You can kind of lean on those guys if you're Cade, but that's the main thing for me. I mean, again, those damn Celtics.
Yeah,
they play us tough.
Yeah,
and
they have championship pedigree.
How about that? And Joe Mazzulla, as eccentric as he is in the playoffs, he's shown to, you know, he'll take risks, but he's also shown that he can make the right adjustments as well. So you can't really count them out.
No, not at all. And you know, the teams that worry me, and I'll just talk about team type as opposed to a particular team, even though Cleveland is kind of rounding into this type of team.
Yeah, the James Harden thing concerns me for the simple fact that, you know, like you say, we're able to score in the paint.
Yeah, big teams with elite size.
Yeah, and that's kind of what James Harden does. Like Clint Capella should be still sending James Harden a holiday card every year. You get what I'm saying? Like, so Evan Mobley and Jared Allen with James Harden, even the old James Harden, you know, he'll help those guys.
Yeah, teams that clog the body with, clog the paint with big bodies and limit paint touches, they give me a lot of cause for concern. If I had it my way, we would play a lot of teams that want to shoot 40 to 53 a game, you know, and that's why Boston, even though, you know, I think them getting with Vucevic, that changes the dynamic some, but they like to shoot a lot of threes. And that's why they concern me a little less, even though he changes the dynamic some, because typically he plays well against the Pistons. But I just worry about those real big teams. Like Houston is another team that's big. Like they clog up the paint a lot. And we want to go in the paint.
And we struggled against Houston.
We did. Yeah.
They beat us, but it wasn't.
We beat them the first time. They beat us the second time. But yeah, like teams that have a lot of big bodies to put in the paint and kind of keep us on the perimeter are teams that really, they give me cause for concern. We would play a lot of small teams that want to play small ball if I had it my way, like if I could wave a magic wand, because those are the teams we can walk those teams down. I'm not worried about those teams. They could beat us on a given night. Don't get me wrong, but beating us 4 times out of 7, I'm not really worried about a team, because eventually we gonna make more 2s than y'all make 3s. We force it inside. So, but that's just my thought. So, I keep my eyes on those bigger teams, but with James Harden, man, we just waiting for the snow to melt.
Oh man, that's all. Listen, it's about that time.
The snow gonna melt, and that's gonna take care of James Harden.
Donovan Mitchell is gonna find out. He gonna be looking at this dude like, where is he?
They in the honeymoon phase right now.
He gonna be looking like, who is this nigga, dog? Who is it? Like, bro, it's your guy.
It's
the
man.
It's what he do.
He been eating wings and going to the strip club.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's transition, man. Let's talk about a few of the early returns on the trade deadline. We touched on James Harden going to Cleveland. I want to talk about a couple of moves that didn't happen that we discussed before we left, and that is Ja Morant and Giannis. Let's talk about Ja first, because basically the word around the campfire is that they just couldn't get a partner. To put it bluntly, his name is kind of mud out here in these streets.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Nobody really wants to be bothered with his personality.
It's sad.
Despite the fact that everybody knows how talented he is. And with Giannis, they just couldn't find the right trade package. But let's deal with Ja first, man. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what do you think that he's going to have to do in order to make himself more attractive to a trading partner, or can he, or is he just stuck in Memphis? Are they just gonna have to release him and let the chips fall, see if somebody picks him up off the waiver wire, or see if he clears waivers and just eat the money and let him go on about his business? What do you think is going to come of that situation?
On the outside looking in, of course, they have to find a way to either trade him or buy him out.
Yeah,
they have to. I mean, that bridge is burnt.
Yeah,
and in terms of how it looks for him, he's going to continue to lose money.
Yeah.
His role to rehabilitate his image is, it hasn't started.
Right.
That's what I'm like. It hasn't started. Like, the situation in Memphis has not resolved itself.
Right.
He's still there. They didn't want him. Like, there's one thing where you can come in and wolf and ask and beg for a trade and come to practice talking about, I'm out, I'm good. But when they get to the point where they like, all right, cool, we gonna make sure you like go home.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the reason why I'm not necessarily concerned, but I wouldn't be shocked that, again, he ends up signing a minimal deal somewhere.
So you think they just gonna just put him on the waiver wire and just
that's not happening.
They
right. Yeah, I mean,
that's not happening. They're not about to eat that money.
They may.
I mean, but so what do you think is gonna happen next?
I think either he's gonna eventually get traded, or they just gonna have to eat the rest of that contract, and when he's a free agent, he's gonna walk.
How much time is left on the contract?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, because it's got to be at least 2 years, right?
Yeah, that's because that situation is irreconcilable.
Yeah,
it just is.
So you don't think he's ever gonna play in the Memphis uniform again?
I mean, I don't see how.
You're right, because he curse out Isolo, the coach.
He cussed out the coach, the player. I mean, so again, and what I think about is, I mean, Ja the talent.
He is. I'm like, it's really sad.
He's an exceptional talent.
Yeah, because I'm like, what's the point of just holding on to him and him not playing and paying him.
But here's the thing. That's what I was going to get to as well. That's not the only thing working against Ja Morant.
Right.
There's also the fact that he's injury prone.
Right.
And then there's also the fact that his style of play lends himself to be injury prone.
He got 2 more years after this.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, he got to have at least. So, but my thing is why would they just hold on to him if they're not going to play him? Like, why wouldn't you just put him on the waiver wire, eat the money, and because if you're not like if you can't reconcile the situation, bring him into the office and say, hey, listen, the only way you're gonna be tradable is if you get back on the court
and you get a jump shot.
Yeah, listen, somebody will want him because he's talented, but you're right. But like, this is a personality problem.
But that's what I'm saying, like long term, because see, again, the talent has never really been the issue with Ja, but it's going to come to a point where it's like, hey, dude, your game doesn't result in winning.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
because
I do.
And what he's running the risk of now is being labeled. And you get what I'm saying? Because look at what it's done.
He's had a team that got the number 2 seed in the West, in recent history, right? Like, I mean, it's not that you can't win with him. At this point, like you said, it's the injuries.
Yeah.
It's him being a malcontent.
Yeah.
It's all of these ancillary issues. It's not his style of play per se. It's he doesn't want to be coached. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you factor that in with the
he didn't like the Taylor Jenkins.
It's like, hey, bro, we wouldn't be hearing any of this if he was injured a lot and he'd shut the hell up and not do dumb shit out in public.
Well, yes,
they'd just be like, well, we just hope he heals up soon and we get him back out on the court as soon as possible. But when you factor in the fact that he's doing that, and then when he plays, he doesn't play for a long time.
Right.
Like, even when they were competitive, they didn't go to the finals because he was hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. His hand, right. He had
was
that
hurt.
hand injury, right? Yeah,
like, he's always hurt.
Yeah, he is.
So you can't couple having a shit attitude and not be available.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the NBA doesn't have a problem with slapping you with a narrative despite your talent. We've seen it happen with Russell Westbrook. Like, the triple-double is just like an afterthought now, because the guy that shattered that whole record is looked at as a malcontent.
Yeah.
Because of a narrative that I don't really know where it came from, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole
I'm like, what's the answer?
And I don't want that for Ja. You get what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm like, but what is the answer for the kid? Because like, sitting there, like, is he gonna be John Wall? Like, he just gonna sit there and collect?
John Wall's out of basketball,
right? But he just sat around and collected his pay, like, and is he the next John Wall? Like, I don't really understand keeping a guy on the team.
I'm not going to say that
just
he
paying
won't.
him.
I think even if they try to play him, it won't last long.
Right? Yeah, I know. Right. Well, I don't know. That situation is just way complicated.
So Ja's $42 million next year and $44 million.
Yeah, $80 million.
Right? Like, why not just put him on the waiver wire and just let it be? Because if you don't want him in the building, then just put him on the waiver wire. See if somebody pick him up. They won't. They ain't gonna pick him up for that. They're gonna let him clear waivers. They're gonna let Memphis be on the hook for the money, and then they're gonna pick him up, like you said. That's some minimum deal, but he's still gonna get the money from Memphis.
Yep.
And he gonna play for the Lakers, for $1 million a year. And
so I understand chemistry and all of that, but at the end of the day, are you trying to pay somebody $80 million who's in the prime of their career to play for somebody else?
Listen. No, yes, if they're not gonna play for me,
if they're not playing for me,
if I'm refusing to put them on the court, listen, I agree. Like, that seems wild. I would think that there would be some other resolution that I could bring them to the table and we could have a conversation.
People will pay for peace of mind, dog.
Yeah. But if he is so like he done cursed out Tomas Isolo and he's not meshing well with the team and they done banned him from the facility, you know, like I'm this is all speculative, but if things have deteriorated to the point where there's no relationship between him and the Memphis Grizzlies, then yeah. I mean, right. I no, you don't want to do that. That's not ideal. But if there's no relationship, then
And the way these owners, man, the way they cry about, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked they cry to the commissioner and try and work on a discount. Like, man, I mean, I don't put nothing past them.
right, maybe go to an arbitrator.
Yeah,
like
dude,
it's
they like,
baseball.
like we gave him that contract in good faith, in spite of his off the. Man, they'll do some old lame stuff like that.
Right.
I don't put it past them.
But as far as I know, he's not refusing to play.
Right.
They're refusing to play. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
they don't want him there.
Yeah, he'll just say, I'll come and play then. Then give me the money and I'll come and play. But I don't know, man. That's a complicated
situation.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry to see that has deteriorated that way. Let's talk briefly about the Giannis situation, man, before we get to All-Star Weekend, man. And I want to talk a little bit about the Lions offseason because they put out the top 100 NFL free agents.
Okay.
We can just briefly discuss that. We got plenty of time to talk that over. But Giannis, again, I suspected that could be a problem because I don't think anybody has. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't think anybody has it because Oklahoma City got all the picks in the world, but I just don't think anybody that's willing to get in on the sweepstakes. I didn't think anybody that was willing to get in on the sweepstakes would during the season. And so Giannis is still there. And I think that, I heard somebody say this is why you demand a trade as opposed to being Mr. Nice Guy. You just force your way out and you make it untenable. And, I don't necessarily know about all of that. I like that Giannis is a gentleman about things, but because he is, the Bucks are taking their time.
Right.
They taking their time to get him out of the building. But I mean, what do you see materializing with this situation? Do you think somebody's going to come with the appropriate package? And again, I ask, what is the right package for Giannis? I mean, it's going to have to be at least 3 players. And I mean, is it 6 draft picks? You think it's 6 number ones? You think it's 5 number ones? You think it's 5 number ones and 2 number twos? I mean, because basically what did Anthony Davis get? 2, they gave up 2 number ones and 3 number twos. The Wizards.
Something silly.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think is going to fetch a Giannis and who's going to be willing to pay it? I keep asking that question. I'm very intrigued to see what the asking price is going to be. But what say the people's champ, man?
I just think, I just wish Giannis would have been a little bit more decisive.
Yeah.
About what he wanted. Or been honest to say, you know what, I don't know. So I'm gonna take it into the offseason and make a decision where I have more time and I can just focus on this season and playing for the Bucks. And
Yeah.
And I think most people would have been cool with that. But the fact that he, was kind of lightweight trolling online and, and all that, it's like, well, dude, but at the end of the day, with it, in terms of what it will take to get him, I think it's tough because Giannis, I mean, he's not old, but he's getting older.
Right.
And, you know me, especially the way things have been trending for the last 5-6 years. Calf injuries scare me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because they seem to be the harbinger of doom.
Yeah, the precursor to those Achilles ruptures.
So the fact that he's kind of frequently having those, and you factor in in recent history, the postseason, pretty much since they won in 2021, he's hurt.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's nicked up a lot too. Yeah.
And even when they won, he played through an injury that most people probably would have took them out.
Yep.
That hyperextension. So, you factor that in with the age, and yes, I mean, when he's available, he's absolutely
he's electric.
a monster, man.
He's
but
electric.
I mean, you have to consider that. You have to weigh that in when you're offering up your future, essentially, and you calculate what can you put around them,
right,
with that cost, because there's a window. I mean, because God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you would probably have to, work in some type of load management regimen with Giannis going forward if you're trying to win it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because he's shown he misses conference finals, conference semis.
But he's also expressed the desire to want to still win all NBAs and be in the
That's what
running
I'm
for
saying.
MVPs. That's the dichotomy that you're gonna have to draw. He's gonna want to make the 65 so he can get awards, because he's very conscious about his legacy.
And maybe he can make the 65.
Because remember, he's the one that made the comments like, they need to do away with it.
And they may have to strategically be like, okay, your number is 65.
Right, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
That's all you going to play.
Or maybe we make it 70 with a 5-game buffer or something like that.
I got you.
Because he's shown the propensity to, get nicked up when you need him the most, where they still had a pretty much competitive roster. There were years where they bought the championship team essentially back.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there.
Yep.
So, there's that. Right. So, but if he worth it, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean, right.
But I just think establishing, whatever the price is, he's worth it. But I think establishing it is where the challenge lies.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I mean, I like that, man. But yeah, man, that's All-Star Weekend, man. What's the people's champ looking forward to with All-Star Weekend, man? Celebrity game, Rising Stars game, the new round robin format, slam dunk contest. What's the people's champ looking forward to, man? Skills competition. What say you?
God, probably the celebrity game.
Yeah, the celebrity game is always fun, man.
Yeah, the celebrity game.
You're a Kevin Hart fan, man. You want to see him with the mic again?
He still does those.
I think so.
He's been kind of away for a while. Like
he was absolutely annoying last year, man. No offense, Kev, but less Kevin Hart,
but
more of anything else on the vocal side.
I like the celebrity game. They squeeze in a few little documentaries about All-Star Weekend, or a story or something that happened one of the All-Star Weekends that you didn't know about, all of that stuff. But in terms of All-Star Weekend, the activities, I like the rookie sophomore game is always pretty decent.
The Rising Stars.
Yeah, the Rising Stars. I
like the Rising Stars game.
I like the Rising Stars game in terms of competitiveness is usually better than the All-Star game, because they still play with a little bit of pettiness.
So you're gonna be tuning in to that round robin game on Sunday, man?
What the hell is that?
The new format.
It's just like the Rising Stars.
The Team World. Didn't they do that similarly last year though?
They've been doing it with the Rising Stars since they added the G League.
Yeah, well, they play up to 15 or they play for a quarter or something like that. But the thing about it is with the pros, the NBA All-Stars, they just dog it, man. I'm straight. I know it's not going to be competitive, dude. I'm good. Maybe Wemby said he's going to play hard, but I mean, we know what it is. I'm not looking forward to it. The dunk contest,
ain't JD going to be in that?
No, he dropped out.
He dropped out. Oh, okay, yeah, because he got the knee soreness.
Yeah, he dropped out, which was I'm glad he did.
Before I transition from basketball, man, did you hear LeBron, man, break the news after the Oklahoma City game that the Lakers are they not a championship contender? They don't play hard for 48 minutes.
I thought that was news.
Did you? You didn't? Are you not shocked?
Yeah, I'm sitting up here like
who didn't know that? You're not shocked, man. The Lakers.
Bro, JJ knows,
right? Right. I think everybody knows,
bro.
You was the last one to know that, brother.
I guess he thought Dave McMenamin didn't know.
Everybody everybody knows you're not a championship contender. But it's cool. What do you think that everybody's trying to crowbar him back to Cleveland, man?
Hey, man.
You think you what do you think, man?
At this point,
him and the Winter Soldier
at this
teaming
point,
up for one last Avengers movie.
At this point, why not?
Right.
I mean, why not? Why not? Why not?
Man.
Just make a whole spectacle of it. So so it's gonna be like him and Bronny going back to Cleveland,
Man.
like Augie Doggy and son.
Hey, man, if they give Bronny a roster spot, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But maybe. I mean, listen, man. I hear more people.
Oh man,
I dismissed it for a good long while.
Imani Bates gonna lose his spot to Bronny James.
Hey man, listen, he better get his resume updated, dog. Wherever he's playing basketball, he better start scoring 50 points a game.
Oh man,
but
because they're a package deal.
I mean, yeah, like listen, I agree.
Like,
man, let's get to some real conversation, though. Man, let's talk about the Detroit Lions offseason.
Man, rest in peace, Tracy Scroggins.
Yeah, man, I saw that, man. R.I.P. Tracy Scroggins. Man, that was sad.
That's sad, man. We're young, 55, 56.
Yeah, 56 years old.
CTE, they think. Yeah, sad, man. Prayers to the family.
No. Indeed. We'll just talk over a couple of these, man, because we'll have plenty of time. They put out the top 100 free agents.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I want to address is that it sounds like Max Crosby might be done in Oakland.
Read my mind.
What say the people's champ, man? Should we go get Max Crosby, man?
If the price is right, do it.
Yeah. Now, here's my thing, man. Top 100 free agents.
Okay.
The first name that jumps out at me is Tyler Linderbaum.
Okay.
The center from the Ravens.
Okay.
They opted out of his final, his 5th year option. It was about $24 million. So they opted out. I don't know what kind of contract he's going to be looking for.
Get both of them.
I want everything.
Get both of them.
The only thing that I don't see on this top 100 list, there's one defensive tackle on here. Really, that's of any consequence. Let me say that. And that's Calais Campbell.
He's still playing?
He almost our age. Yeah, I'm like,
wait a minute. Shout out Calais Campbell. That's no shade. I was really.
Yeah, he almost 30. I think he's almost 38. 38 years old? Yeah.
39.
39.
Well, he got to be like Al Horford age.
That's what I said, bro. Like, so, see, that's the problem. That's why.
Man, get that money, dog.
I wanted Leonard Williams, man. When he was available 2 years ago at the trade deadline. Seattle got Leonard Williams for a 2nd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. Our 2024 2nd-round pick was Ennis Rakestraw.
Junior.
And
I know the fault of his own through injury. I thought he was going to be a decent player for us, but damn, that was a bust pick.
I'm like, man, and like based upon what we got in 2024, I would definitely give up the 2nd and the 5th-round pick.
And did Ennis make the field ever? I think he played maybe a game and got hurt that game.
Maybe. But I would definitely trade. I mean, I would have traded it at the time. I wanted them to get. I was like, man, please go get Leonard Williams. Please, please. We need a dominant defensive tackle because they don't become available. Like people don't become available in free agency. You either got to trade for them or you got to draft one. And like this year, like when Quentin Williams was available, I'm like, man, go get Quentin Williams.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting a dominant defensive tackle in free agency. They just don't become available.
Or when Miami was fire selling for a quick minute.
Yeah. I'm like, man, go find somebody. Like you can get an edge. Like it's a couple edges on here, like Jalen Phillips, I should say. And Trey Hendrickson is on here.
Okay.
It's edges on here.
Sheila.
Yeah, man, listen.
Sheila.
Go get them.
crack the book open.
I mean, listen,
get the black card.
Because we was talking about Robert Kraft.
Yeah, man.
You can't burn your money.
Yeah.
So the question I have for y'all is,
Go ahead.
are y'all okay with basically implementing the same strategy when it comes to the cap? Because right now we're projected to be 9 million over the cap. So I think a lot of the thinking as far as what I've heard when it comes to the lines is that a lot of the money will come from restructuring deals and pushing that money down later. Because like Goff can restructure, St. Brown can restructure, McNeil can restructure. So you can find the space, but it is at the detriment of kicking that money down the road.
Pay the luxury tax.
And then on top of that, you have to remember in 2 years, Jahmyr Gibbs enters his final year of his rookie contract with the extension. So you have to start thinking about paying him in through after 2027.
Listen,
cut the check.
There's one person in this town that said he would not be paying Hutch $50 million a year. One person. Now listen, it was not a popular opinion. I understand that, but this is why. Because you can't go shopping when you do that. And unless we have a dominant defensive tackle, it's not going to work. Now, again, you ain't going to be able to buy one of those anyway. Like, you either going to have to trade for one or draft one. And Kylie Williams is not it. And I understand we gave Aleem McNeil $98 million. And I don't think he's it, but it could be. He was even less effective, and I think he just wasn't fully healed this year.
Coming off
I just don't think he was full. But even that, like, I still think we need somebody next to him.
I agree.
Because the kind of D tackle he is more of a pass rushing type. But yeah, I mean, the D tackle is the one position that I feel like you can't really go shopping for that in free agency. Like, everything else, you can rebuild your like the Chicago Bears rebuilt their offensive line in one offseason. They went out and got Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and why am I drawing a blank on his name? He just won Protector of the Year. Man, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Man, but it'll come to me. Joe Tooney. There you go. Joe Tooney. They went out and got them all last year. You can rebuild your O-line in one offseason. That defensive tackle spot, I will say, the Patriots got Milton Williams last year. They got him. He became available from the Philadelphia Eagles. That's such a rarity, though. It's a rarity to get a defensive tackle in, like, a really good defensive tackle in free agency. It's just such a rare thing. But I digress. I want Tyler Linderbaum. Jabril Peppers is on here. Like, everything I'm reading about what's going on with Kirby Joseph.
Oh my God,
it's just not good. It's depressing.
My man said, if you get, what do you say, 1 year is a miracle.
I read that. Yeah, he his
and he said
career
to play out his contract was a fantasy.
Yeah, it was
I said, whoa.
Yeah, everything I'm reading about Kirby Joseph.
Can we get a medical exception on that?
Yeah. Everything I'm reading about Kirby Joseph is just depressing.
They said if he gets on the field, if he made it through the season, it would be a miracle.
Yeah, but the only thing is that they're not making it clear whether or not there's a surgical intervention that's an option.
Well,
they saying he's trying a non-surgical option first, but I'm like, it doesn't that sounded very pessimistic. So I'm like, well, is there a surgical option?
I think they said that the surgery that's required is like beyond like a double microfracture type deal.
Oh wow. So it'll keep him out for a long time.
Funky.
Yeah. Man. So yeah, like everything they talking about with Kirby Joseph just sounds horrible.
And then with Branch, they said, it's somewhere between week 4 and week 14.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, with an Achilles rupture, is dead. We ain't gonna see him next year.
Yeah, the doctor said somewhere between week 4 and week 14.
We ain't gonna see him next year.
I mean, if you're smart,
yeah,
I think he's that valuable where you just keep him out.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, like no, we ain't gonna see him next year. That's why I said Jabril Peppers. I like, and nah, man, listen, go shopping, man. Pay the luxury tax. The Forest got more money than the U.S. Mint.
Yeah, man.
They pay the luxury tax, man. We trying to win a championship. They got enough money. I understand. Like, yeah, you can restructure some deals. You can siphon some folks off.
Do whatever it takes, dog.
Do whatever it takes. We could talk about more after we win. After we win, man, we've been going down there throwing good money after bad for 6 decades. Yeah. It's time for y'all to pay us back. I don't care what you got to do. Pay it. Pay the money. We can't hear you now.
For clarification, the NFL doesn't have a luxury tax.
Oh, okay. So what do they do?
It's a hard cap. You have to be under the cap. That's why the Saints was doing all those restructuring for years and years and years because they was always over the cap. So that's why I asked that question. But to your point on Kirby, going into the 2027 season, his dead cap hit will be $7.2 million. Is next year a make it or break a year for him within the organization?
Yeah,
talent aside, because I don't think it's a question about his talent.
Nah, it's his health now at this point. I mean, the poor guy is he just caught a horrible break with, I mean, no pun intended, but with that this very rare, strange injury that he got. This is it's a really absurd thing, and I feel horrible for the guy. I mean,
that tent, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it's terrible. So anyway, man, yeah, like I don't want to get too far down in the weeds with the Lions offseason stuff. I mean, we gonna have a draft and all of that, man, where we'll have time to really get into who they should pick up, who they're eyeballing. The new league year will start, and we'll have more time to really get into this. I'm just kind of spitballing to who I would like to see them go after, because it's a lot of good edge rushers on here, who I would like to see them go and get, even if they have to go rent Hendrickson for a year. But I would love Crosby. I think that, Crosby would give us a Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter type feel, where we would just be murder off the edge. But I'll give you the last word, People's Champ, man, and then we'll get up out of here, man.
Hey, man. Tig's getting ready to report down in Lakeland.
Oh,
that's
man.
what I was about to say. Pitchers and catchers started reporting yesterday.
Oh boy!
And we had the Tigers at least made some news on the pitching side.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
I know we still got plenty of time to complain about the other side of the baseball, but Framber Valdez signed last Wednesday.
Well,
Verlander's back on the 1 year, but I think that's more so because it was announced that Reese Olsen is out for the season.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, any thoughts on how the rotation gonna look going into the year? We can talk about the bats later.
I was gonna say, I mean, no, the rotation looks competitive. I mean, listen, providing that Verlander still has gas in the tank, I don't know, but I like the pitching rotation.
Yeah, I mean the
Valdez pickup is
the Valdez pickup could be really huge if Jack Flaherty bounces back.
Yeah,
Valdez is the 2. I think Flaherty at best is the 3.
That's what I'm saying,
and he might end up the 4 by the end of the year because I think Troy Melton has a chance to overtake him. I
hope he does. Actually,
I think the Verlander signing. I think the role they're looking for him to play, and not as far as in the rotation per se, his place in the rotation. I think they're trying to have him play that Kenny Rogers role.
Oh wow!
Have a veteran ace up there on the staff who can help the younger guys and whatnot. Your top 2 you're not gonna have to worry about.
Yeah.
Well, for sure.
Skubal and Valdez is gonna go out there and get what they have to get done, but a lot of the underneath is a lot of young cats who's coming in and is expected to do a lot of damage this year. And I think having a Verlander there, eat some innings and just be a mature presence in the dugout, I think was in the clubhouse is gonna be beneficial.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
But
Yep.
like I said, and we could talk about this another time. The bats.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
right.
that's why I wasn't trying to go
Generating
down that
some run
road.
support.
But
yeah.
that's what I was saying. You know, the better player he is, then that means that hopefully, you know, the score is low enough where, you know, our struggles on the other side, you know, will require us to do as minimal as possible and still eke out some wins.
Y'all make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe, man. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. Everybody Has One spelled out everywhere else, man. The Tigers are not going to stress me out with the hitting that they've been providing these past couple of years, man. As Everybody Has One sports podcast spelled out everywhere. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Threads, that is TikTok, that is Twitch. And the audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Y'all make sure y'all hit us in those DMs if y'all have topics that y'all want to hear us talk about, man, other than the Tigers hitting. And we'll make sure that we get those on for y'all.
We gonna get a bat.
We got to, man. If we get a bat,
We
man,
gonna get a bat.
we will
man.
discuss it. If they leave us with Colt Keith D. agent
Oh, God.
again.
Ah!
I know. If I had to watch him marching, man, I felt like I was in
Oh God!
the
You don't
ninth
understand the
circle
visual
of
that I-
purgatory, bro.
Oh, the visual I just had. Oh, him striking out again.
Yeah, bro. He just struck out again, just right now.
0 for 11.
Right. He just struck out again. And they about to report the training camp. So yeah, no, y'all, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us again, man. Again, man, make sure y'all tell everybody when y'all watch those video clips, man, make sure y'all watch them in their entirety, man. Y'all watch all of the shorts. When y'all hit subscribe, man, make sure y'all hit that bell notification so that y'all notified every time that we post new content. When you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all so that you get a notification every single time we post, man. And we appreciate y'all so very much. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family. It's the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.